Okay, so for your glitch text effect, if you're having trouble with it, just make sure that once you get your group, your text group ready, where you have your anaglyph kind of separation, okay, and they should be all smart object layers. That way later on when you want to change your text, you can double click on the smart object layer of the glitch, the first original glitch. Actually all of them, any one of them would work, but I would go with the original one, and then you can change your text there for your second attempt. Remember, when you're making it for a purpose. But anyway, you have your group 1 for your text. What I would suggest to do is take your selection tool, make your first selection at the top, okay? Then go and put a layer mask on it, just like normal, right? So then we're going to make a duplicate. Control J is a keyboard shortcut to duplicate a layer. So now I have a second layer, but I don't want that same selection. So I'm going to go into that layer mask, and this might be easier for you to understand. Just go to fill it in with black for now. Okay, so it hides everything. I know it doesn't look like it's done anything, but there's nothing on this layer mask. So what I'm going to do is use my selection tool and just select an area, maybe thinner, okay? Vary my sizes here, and I'm going to fill this little area on my layer mask with white. So I'm going to go to Edit, Fill, and make sure I'm clicked on white. Okay? Now, what I would suggest to do, maybe before you get to this point, or maybe when you make a duplicate, when you go to Edit, I just deselected there, so select, deselect, or Control D. And then I'm going to go on this layer mask. I'm going to get everything off this layer mask. I'm going to fill it in with black. I could have done this earlier, but I just wanted to at least show you. Now from here, I have a black layer mask on my group. Okay, I'm just going to make 3 more copies of it. So I should have group 1, copy 5. Okay, there's actually 6 of them there. Okay, so I'm going to go on to my third one here, right? So I'm 1, 2, and this is going to be my third one. I'm going to be on my layer mask. I'm going to make my selection, and I'm going to make a selection. Okay, and vary my size a bit. Again, in this stage, I can change like where it is selecting it from by moving my arrows. And then on this layer mask, I'm going to fill that in. You can actually right-click over here on the selection and then click Fill, and then click White. So that's another way to do it. So right-clicking sometimes gives you some control over things. Just make sure as you're going through this that you're on each selection as a new layer. This will help you later when you are moving those layers. Okay, so again, I can go to Edit, Fill, or I could just right-click here and go to Fill, and then White. Okay, so I'm going to do this for the remainder of the time here. Okay, vary up my sizes, all that good stuff. If I want to bring it a little bit closer, right? Right-click, Fill, White. Okay, and then I'm going to be in my last group here. Okay, just going to move it up, and then Fill. Okay, so now that I have, oh, I need another one. So let me just make another layer. Not a big deal. And then I just want to make sure that I select everything on this layer mask. I can go to Edit, Fill, right? Black, just to get it back to hiding everything, right? And then I'm going to do my last selection. All right, so once I'm done with this, okay, now that I have all my layers, which is why we put them on each individual layer, you can see which one is which, okay? So you might want to move them around. So you got to be on your layer, select your layer, and then make sure you're on the Move tool. And then you can use your arrows to kind of change things where they are. So I'm just going to make sure I'm on the layer that I want. Okay, so I want to kind of move this one over. Maybe I don't want to glitch it too much, or maybe the separation in some of these lines is maybe too much. So I'm going to be on that layer, and I can move them up and down as well. I just kind of make my changes here. Okay, so you could do the same thing, just kind of play around with it, and then you make your own, how you like. Okay, sometimes it does click on another layer for some strange reason. Just, you know, make sure you know which layer you're on. And that is it. So sometimes keeping them closer together and not having that line break sometimes makes it look better, but you can make your own determination on what looks good for you. Okay. And remember, you can still shift click your layers. If you know that a few of them can be moved at the same time, you can do that. So that still applies, right? And that is it. Okay. Thank you.